Good afternoon, everyone. This is Shaurya from Market Times TV, and we are here at the conference organized by NAFED and GPC on the World Pulses Day. And now we have industry expert with us, and we will try to ask him what's the trend ahead. So, sir, what do you think how the trend will work ahead in the production and prices from here?
I think it's all a positive, interesting future that I'm seeing here. I think with the new partnership of GPC and NAFED, I see a lot of positive things for India coming up. Not only increasing the local production, but also securing products from the other countries that will be in need at some point that we need to supply the national needs.
So, how do you think, like we have seen here in the conference, that production is not, in fact, it has decreased since the Green Revolution and other crops are being favored more. So, what according to you can the steps be taken by the Indian government and people in general so that can increase pulses production?
As I was saying before, I think we need more research funds into pulse. When you compare the amount of money that goes into researching cereal crops, for example, and this is not just in India but worldwide, there's a huge gap between what you see for pulses versus what you see for crops like wheat or rice or maize. So we need to increase that. If we want to increase productivity, we need to increase the funds available for research.
So funds is basically in the hands of government, right? So do you think government also needs more awareness that they need to focus more on pulses?
Which one, sorry?
Like, do you think government also needs more awareness about this because ultimately it's them who give the budget? So if they are being more aware about the benefits of pulses, they might give more funds for the research of it.
I agree, but I think after what we saw today, I think the government it's on the side. They understand the need for it. It's just a matter of keeping that message clear so it kind of doesn't fade away. But I think it's getting to the ears of the government from what I've seen. Yeah.
Okay, so and if you talk about general, do you think if it's clear that if private players enter the field, it will have much more benefit? Like new farming techniques can be come in. So do you think private sector is getting enough incentives to enter in this field?
That's a matter of prices and markets. We'll see what happens. I think it's great to have innovators and have people that are trying to come up with new alternatives, new innovations for the agricultural sector, and that's always welcome. And the government has to facilitate that as much as possible. So we'll see what happens in the future. That's one of the things that nobody can know until we see the results. Yeah.
So like in economics, if there's a free market economy, it helps more. So if you think that government focus less on MSPs and subsidies and let allow market forces to set up the price and production, it will lead to better results?
I think it has to be done in a very transitional manner. You cannot just simply go tomorrow and cut all the subsidies because it's too dangerous. I mean, there's some sectors of the market that still are pretty fragile and they need the help. But have a concerned long-term effort that shows that in the long term, India's agriculture can be competitive and can be the same as any other economy. It's good. Yeah.
So if you talk about global landscape right now, trade practices are being done, anti-trade and deglobalization is being done. So how is that impacting the trade dynamics in pulses and in agriculture in general?
We're seeing a trend in a worldwide just for increased globalization. I mean, I've seen pulse products being moved from all over the place: U.S., Canada, Australia, China, and I think at some point we need to decide that certain countries and certain regions are good at producing certain things and some others are good at others, and then we kind of exchange. That's what we do. That's globalization, yeah. But we cannot pretend, and every country cannot pretend to be good at everything, right? Yeah.
So that's basically what's the point of competitive advantage and competitive advantage. But how do you think that US-China trade war is affecting it?
The trade-off?
US-China trade war, how is that affecting all this?
Good question. I think it's affecting the whole dynamics and the whole war for trading. But at the same time, I think it's open interesting opportunities for partnering with other countries and other economies as well. So in a way, there is no perfect solution. There is no silver bullet. It's always some things are going to be beneficial for some countries and some players, and some others are going to play against. Yeah.
Basically, we can say because of this, supply chains are shifting from one place to somewhere else.
I think things are getting back to normal after a while. If you see now the conversations between the Chinese government and the U.S., things are kind of resettling back to what they were before. So I'm not too concerned that something is going to dramatically change in the short term, at least. Yeah.
So if you talk about short term, China is facing coronavirus, and it has promised a lot to increase its agriculture products from USA. So if China is unable to buy these products because of coronavirus, so do you think that will impact the relations between US and China?
Uh, we'll see. I don't think you should condemn a nation just because of an outbreak of a disease, right? I think the issue with coronavirus in China is going to affect everybody because a lot of products are actually made in China. So manufacturing in China is going to have repercussions in the whole world. So I don't think it's just one problem between the U.S. and China. It's China against having an impact in the whole world.
So my last question is, farming is basically like a business. You have to focus on cost, revenues. So if farmers are being treated like businessmen and being trained like entrepreneurs, like even in India and other places, do you think there's much better and faster way in which farming can develop?
That's the hope that they understand that their farming, even if it's a small scale, is still an enterprise, and that's so important. If the farmer understands that and understands the value of what they are doing, then they're going to be more successful in the future. That's for sure. Yeah.
That's it for now. We are here at GPC organized an FED conference on World Pulses Day, and we are talking with different various experts, and they are being saying that a lot of things are being done for the sector, and there's a lot of potential ahead, and it's also showing that government is getting awareness and also awareness being spread in general to work and increase the production and consumption of pulses. That's it for now. Thank you.